What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Monday Magic, or welcome to Monday Night Magic. I know y'all might be a little surprised to see me, not in front of the tree with the lights out, but hey, all I gotta say is welcome to Scorpio season. Um, for me, I'm a Scorpio rising, and that's a placement, if you're into astrology, um, that's a placement for me that I really, really resonate with. And yeah, I really feel like that's really a good and true embodiment of who I am at a very deep level and on the surface too. So yeah, so like even when I come across astrology posts and things like that, like I check Scorpio before I check Libra a lot of the time. Um, so yeah, that because I'm a Libra, if you didn't know. But yeah, so that transition from Libra season to Scorpio season always feels interesting to me, and I feel like it always feels like a transition for sure. Like the energies are very different, and I feel different, and the way they feel to me is different. So yeah, it always feels like okay, I'm going for my birthday, and now I'm going into the rebirth part. Like, are we celebrated now? Let's ground in this transformation as we go into this next year of life. So yeah, Scorpio season is very important to me, and yeah, the energies in general I feel like are very important to us as a collective, as a people, and as a planet as a whole. So, oh yeah, I just wanted to definitely get in the spirit of Scorpio season and really switch up the energy in here. So, yeah, for the rest of Scorpio season, y'all get used to Monday Night Magic. Um, I'm excited. I feel like, yeah, I'm sure the energy is going to be different. I'm sure the reading is going to be different and all that. So, I'm excited to see what comes up. We're definitely going to spend a lot more time on the darkness. And when I say the darkness, I more so mean like if the things that I share is the light, me talking and me, expressing the energies of the light, then the darkness is the spaces in between, the silences, the places where a lot of the light is born, where I get the things to express and the light to share. So yeah, it's definitely gonna be a slower reading. We're gonna take our time. We're gonna really dive in, and yeah, I'm just excited, and I'm really glad that you're here and you're in for a really special reading. So that being said, hi, I'm Mark. If I didn't say that already, I feel like I didn't. But yeah, and I'm your reader, and it's really nice to be here with you, and I appreciate you being here to exchange energy, and yeah, to see what's in store. But that being said, oh, hey, welcome back. Sorry to keep you waiting. Well, not sorry, because it's going to be exactly what it's supposed to be. But yeah. Yeah, that being said, we get going every week with our presence practice. And that's really just to anchor us into the present moment, bring us into our bodies, and really prepare our vessel to work with the energies that may come up in the reading. So the first thing we do is our breath work, real deep belly breaths, all the way to the belly, hold at the top. And then with the exhales, we're just gonna make sure our exhales are longer than our inhales, which promotes relaxation and allows our nervous system to know that we're safe, and that we can relax and there's nothing to be worried about. So yeah, and after that, we're gonna go into our body scanning, and I'll explain that a little more when we get there. But yeah, so let's get started. Go ahead and introduce a little bit of flow into your body. A little bit of movement. Wiggle your toes a bit, feel it out. And then when you're good with that, go ahead and just return to center. And then lovingly close your eyes if you can, or if you want to. And let's get going. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Go ahead and go ahead and introduce some movement back into your body. A little neck roll, a little shimmy shake, even a little slow rock back and forth. Really feel into your body and what that feels like. Feel the energy move as you do. And when you're done, go ahead and just re-find your center. Okay. And now for the body scanning, we're going to start at the top of the head. And as I call out the different parts and we work our way down, just place your awareness there. Don't judge anything you notice or start thinking. Just place your awareness there and be there with the body part. And that being said, if I say something like mouth, go ahead and check in with your teeth, your tongue, whatever you feel called to do that's within that area as well. You can get as specific and as zoomed in as you'd like. Yeah, don't feel like you have to rush to even keep up. If you do notice any tension in an area, just lovingly release it and allow the energy to flow again. Without thinking about where it came from, why it's there, or how it feels, just allow it to go and pass. So, let's start at the top of the head. Forehead. Your eyes. Your nose. Your cheeks. Your ears. The back of your head. Your mouth. Your chin. Your stomach. Your back. Your butt. And if you're sitting, pay special attention to where your butt meets the surface you're sitting on and really lean into that support that's there. Now your groin area. And then your hands Now your upper legs. Then your feet. And then last but not least, your toes. And then when you're done, go ahead and give them a little wiggle. And then introduce some movement back into your body. Get a nice rock going. And while you rock a little bit, go ahead and express gratitude 3 times, whether out loud in your mind or just energetically. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then return to center. Let's do one more deep breath. And then we're going to exhale as slow as we can. Inhale. Exhale. And then when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Ooh. That was a good one. Oh yeah. How y'all feeling? I'm excited, but it's like a calm excitement. I have no idea what's gonna come out tonight, but I'm ready. Ooh. And yeah, I tried to sit in front of the tree. I still tried to, get the vibes going, get her involved, but it was just way too dark over there. And I would have been with it, just y'all hear my voice or whatever, but yeah, I didn't think you guys would prefer that over, this. But so, hey, let me know though, because I'm all for it. Hell yeah, let's get it. Ooh. Dang, already? What y'all think? Okay, sun's down, but the light is still very much present. They're not even messing around. 10 of Pentacles off the rip. That's been our card the last few weeks, maybe month, 2 months, I don't know. I feel like every week 10 of Pentacles has made sure to come out early and then keep coming out. So, we also got the Emperor on the bottom. So yeah, it just feels like this reading is going to be exactly as powerful as we feel like it's going to be. Slow down a little bit. I was just about to say, when I slowed down, it's like, I don't know, I felt energy charging like in my body, like more so. Like I wasn't feeling anything when I was shuffling faster. And then when I slowed down, it's like I felt the energy going, and then my hands felt active too. And then the world I'm hearing grace. I'm hearing slow. Yeah, it's just an overall peaceness and serene feeling. Yeah, I'm hearing allow yourself to dream. I know there's a lot of pressures to always be realistic, whatever that means. And and if you're somebody who has a big dream, or if you're someone who feels really, really deeply, you have visions of a world that you don't necessarily get to go outside and see all the time, you know? It's like you see things of love, you see things of unity and togetherness and what this world is supposed to be. And you look around and you feel like you're the only one who sees these things, and you feel burdened with the weight of the visions and the experiences that you know to be possible and to be real, but you don't have anybody to lean on to help actualize these things for you. In your walking life, at least, you know, sometimes you may exist in communities like this one and see readings and things like this and realize you have people out there, but in your own world, it's like, it's just you to carry that light. So, yeah, dream big, keep dreaming, and understand that you see these things and you feel them because it's for you to feel them. It's for you to make them happen, and to understand that it's not even making them happen, that it's already written, it's already done, and you get to live the unfoldment of that. You get to walk in it. You get to be a vessel of the transformations into the world that you do see, and you're not alone in that. You may feel alone and you're walking, you know, every day, but the fact that you do see videos like this, you are connected to people who are having these same conversations, who are having the same visions. Understand that we've all been in a training ground. We've all been preparing to make those shifts into the visions that we all have, that are all pieces to the same puzzle. And you've been doing the work, and it's been a lonely road. And sometimes that's the best way to do it, you know, because you have nothing but clarity. You have nothing but space and opportunity to deep dive into yourself and to work on these things and to really, really transform at a very deep level. And yeah, if we weren't alone in that process a lot of the times, we'd see that time would be going by and we're not changing too much, you know, because we're so busy living and experiencing these bonds and these relationships and just doing all the things and getting lost in all this that there is to get lost into, that the time actually spent to ourselves would be very limited, or we'd find ourselves trying to fight to get those times and spaces to do this very work, which is so important, that leads to the rest of our life, in which we, you know, live so free and so expanded and so connected. So understand that it's all been for a purpose. Yeah, keep dreaming big and understand that it's all real. And that's the benefit of being able to dream big. You get to spend time in those worlds, in those dimensions, as, you know, this one begins to shift into being that. But you get to experience it now. You get to close your eyes and be there. You get to daydream and experience it and really feel it at a heart level. And the trick, or the key, is to not feel those things and then bring it into the present by way of, wow, I wish I had those things, or, oh man, yeah, this is great, but wow, look at what I actually have to deal with, you know? Because then at that point you're using it as a weapon against yourself, when it's supposed to be a blessing, when it's supposed to be little glimpses and little moments of you actually being there, because you are there. If you're feeling it, you see it and all that, it's very real, and you're definitely experiencing it. It's only when we get lost in the mind and we add the mind and our thoughts to it that it becomes this, you know, ugly thing, or it becomes a burden, or feels like a burden. But it's not. It's really everything, everything that magic is, everything that divine energy is. So when you do get those moments and you do see those things, and yeah, you get to be there for a bit, enjoy it, soak it up, allow that to charge you up, and then you ground it in here. You go do something with it, you know? You experience, you know, you just had a daydream, or you dreamed of all the beautiful things, everybody's working together, the world's so peaceful, or you dream that, you know, you're living all these experiences, you're traveling, you're, you know, you need for nothing, you're experiencing full freedom. When you come back, don't become sad that you don't see that here. Understand that, wow, you felt it, and now you can use that energy to ground it in here. Go create something, especially if you're an artist or something like that. Go take that energy and ground it in. Go make something, go sow a seed of that energy, and understand that that's gonna help manifest in exactly what you're seeing, exactly what that seed was born from. So don't be afraid of that darkness, or what well, it is darkness, but the darkness is a beautiful thing. So yeah, when you have those moments, hold them close and use them and take advantage of them. Well, not take advantage, because I don't like the connotation of that, but yeah, just utilize them, work with them, and allow them to create that world, to create those worlds. Because as you bring them into the physical, they become grounded in, and they're here, and they're just that much more real. So hell yeah, keep dreaming. Yeah, that was dope. That was a great first card. The Lovers. I'm hearing Cloud 9. I heard Samantha and Martha too. Yeah, gold might be significant. I'm hearing like something passed down from like a loved one, like a feminine figure, so like a mother or an aunt or a grandma, and it having really, really protective energy about it. Like it's not just a piece of jewelry or something nice, but it's like, yeah, it has its own, a whole energy about it that's really divine and protective in nature for sure. Yeah, I'm hearing love as well. And be safe and allow moments to become timeless. Yeah, if this is like new love, or you just met someone and you're in a relationship, or you know, you're just exploring this person, I know it's easy to not want times to end and things like that, or to be like, wow, this is so great, I want to do this forever. It's like, don't spend the time in it thinking about it ending, you know? Like actually be present in the energy and be so embodied in it and present in it that time doesn't exist, you know, that you are in it. You are infinite within that moment because you're so there, and that that type of moment, the past melts away and the future doesn't exist because you're not thinking about it. You're not sending energy anywhere else besides exactly where you are. And that becomes what's the only thing that's real, because you project your reality at any given time. The past is not playing out besides when you're thinking about it, or besides when, you know, you're experiencing maybe like the trauma stored in your body, and like as that comes out as like trigger responses and things like that. But yeah, allow yourself to get lost in those moments and be present with them and trust them. Don't spend those moments overthinking or like wondering like, oh man, is this too good to be true? Or is this person who they say they are? Or dang, what if they just hurt me like the last person did? Or, you know, any of those thoughts that come right behind those feelings of bliss and love and feeling like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, you know? So yeah, don't get caught up into those, and don't allow those to run away with you, because those rob you of your present moments that become memories in the end. Because yeah, you don't want to look back and it's like, damn, I spent all this time, like I didn't even really enjoy that date, or I didn't enjoy that day that was so amazing because I was so worried about what it would become. Especially if it becomes everything, you know, it's like, damn, like I really didn't even enjoy those first few memories because I was so in my head that whole time. It's like, if you knew how perfect and how divine this thing is that you guys are building, you wouldn't spend any time in worry. So you can have that hindsight now and choose to be so embodied through these experiences as they're happening. And not just love, but just life in general, you know, like if there's an opportunity that presents itself, you know, it's like the perfect opportunity you've been waiting for. Don't go in there and be hesitant and scared, waiting for the other shoe to drop, or being afraid to mess it up or lose it, and now you're not in there actually enjoying it, because that's what it's about, especially when it's a manifestation and something you've been calling in and something that's exactly what you've been asking for. You definitely don't want to miss out on it or ruin it or self-sabotage it by being afraid of it. And it's like, it was born of you. It was born in your darkness. It was born in those moments where you were asking and you were embodying the energy and really, really trying to create this thing. You got so clear on it. You knew exactly what it was and that you were ready for it. And then it comes, and it's like, embrace it and continue to treat it as that. And, you know, even if it doesn't last forever or ends up becoming a lesson at some point, that's fine. But understand that you were so embodied with it and you were taking in every experience and was so present with it that you didn't miss a thing, that even though it's over, it's okay. You've fully experienced it, like the 100%. There was nothing more to experience. 27 as I say that. But you don't get to feel that way if it comes to an end and you look back and you're like, damn, like I didn't even get to enjoy that at all. I just spent the whole time afraid I was gonna lose it, and then I lost it. And it's like, you're robbing yourself by moving that way. So yeah, embrace everything that's showing up for you and trust that it is for you. And yeah, allow them all to be the miracles that they are and the magic that they are, and understand that they're all just manifestations of you and your energy and your inner world and all that. So you're not afraid of yourself, or at least you shouldn't be. So don't be afraid of these things that are just a product of you, you know? So hell yeah, enjoy the ride and lead with love. Approach everything that shows up with love, and understand that love is the biggest truth serum there is. When you lead with love, people who don't lead with love are not able to hide. So even if it does, you know, this person wasn't deserving of the love, even though everybody's deserving of love, understand that you got to see who they were, and you didn't have to doubt the way you showed up. You don't have to think about like, dang, maybe if I would have gave more, or maybe if I would have, you know, gave them an honest chance and wasn't so defensive, maybe they were the right person. Or, oh, maybe, you know, those things that when you have to second guess yourself because you know that you didn't show up authentically. Because we've all experienced that, you know, it's like, dang, well, I could have did this, or like I could have did that, and it's like now you don't get to even see the past with clarity, because that may not have even made a difference, and I'm sure it probably didn't. But now, since you didn't show up authentically and you didn't put your best foot forward, there's room for you to doubt and blame yourself for the way things went, when it's like, nah, they probably just weren't the right person. And even if you did all the right things to show up 100%, they would have revealed that they weren't the right person. So it's like, yeah, the best thing you can do is to be vulnerable, to show up and be you 1,000%, fully embodied and authentic, and allow people to be whoever they are, and that's not your burden. And understand that when you get to move on, you get to move on, and you don't have to leave any energy back there or spend time thinking about what if, or having regrets about things that probably wouldn't have worked anyway. But since you didn't show up authentically, you know, we have a habit of thinking, you know, there's something we could have did to make something different. So it's like, hey, do everything, leave it all out there, and then understand that now you don't ever have to think about that. You can move on and be like, I did everything I could, it didn't work out, it wasn't supposed to work out. And you can move with confidence and be empowered and be whole all the time. And you're not gonna leave any fragments behind. You're not gonna be wasting any energy on regret or replaying the past or any of that stuff. So, hell yeah, the best thing you can do is just be authentic and show up 1,000%. Lead with love, follow your heart. Understand that there's gonna be lessons sometimes, and that's okay. And leading with an open heart puts you on a fast track through those lessons, because the lessons are gonna come regardless to get to mold you into who you need to be. But if you're hiding from them and now you're sitting there being careful, and now something you could have experienced in a 1 month span turns into a 1 year span because you were so guarded, and then you finally opened up at the year mark and then boom, it shattered, and it's like, wow, what the heck, I wasted all this time. It's like, yeah, if you would have just been you 1,000% from the beginning, they would have had no choice but to be them, or you would have at least seen, you know, like, damn, I'm being myself, and they're still holding, you know, they're holding back, whatever, and that tells you a lot too. So it's like, yeah, the best thing you can do is always just be authentic and be you 100%, and that's gonna tell you what's what, and that's gonna reveal what's not for you and what is for you, because you're being you. When you're not being you and you're being somebody else, things may be resonant to that. You may be able to exist in spaces when you're not being your full self. But it's like, if you were your full self, you may not be able to exist there, and you shouldn't want to exist anywhere where your full self can't exist or it doesn't have any room, because now you're just signing up to be in a box. So yeah, just be you, because you're perfect, and there's no reason to not be you. It serves no purpose. There's no positive benefit to it in the long run at all. These people really bothered. Everybody, they keep slowing down, looking over here. Big energy, I guess. Page of Wands. Yeah, I'm hearing like first stop. This feels like the first stop. Just of the night, like of the reading so far, like of just like, all right, taking scope. That was phase 1 of the reading. I don't know, dang, my foot fell asleep. Whew, bear with me, y'all. Okay, this stone, I gotta get closer to y'all. The stone in the back by the bushes, like it looks like to me just now it looked like a turtle. And that felt like just another emphasis on the go slow. And I guess that makes sense with my foot falling asleep too. Go slow, go slow. Yeah, someone's 2 hands on. You see how he has both hands on the wand right here? It's like if something were to show up, he has no hands to do anything. And he's out in the middle, he's out in the open for sure. Yeah, when you're too busy trying to control like outcomes and control your life essentially and just the world around you, understand that you're too busy, that there's no room for miracles, there's no room for divine orchestration, there's no room for just happenstance and synchronicity and all that, because you're focused, all your energy is here, you're trying to work, busy, trying to shift your future, trying to make sure everything goes exactly how you have planned, make sure your 5-year plan works out, make sure your 1-day plan, your 1-week plan, make sure you cross everything off your checklist. Like when you're that rigid, understand that yeah, you're gonna miss the magic that's available to you, and there's not gonna be any room at all for the surface, which is counterproductive because it would relieve a lot of those things and bring you into the future with ease without you having to force it. And because at that point it's built off your own energy, so now you're forcing it, and then you're draining yourself, which is going to leave you burnt out, which is going to leave you feeling unfulfilled more so as well, because the universe is not going to react to your force. No matter how forceful you are, no matter how rigid you are, outcomes are going to be outcomes, and you're going to get the outcomes that are in alignment to who you are and to to your inner world, your frequency, your vibration, all those things that determine what we attract into our life and the experiences we have. So understand that working harder and doing more and being more and more and more and more and more and more productive is not going to necessarily get you more and more and more and more and more. Not in a quality aspect. Like maybe, yes, quantity, it'll get you a lot of results, but those results are not all going to be born of your authenticity. They're not all going to be born of your highest good or any of that. Because remember, the seeds you sow determine the trees you get. So some of that work is going to be inspired work for sure. I'm not saying that all of it is just you just whatever, you just working hard, just work hard. A lot of it might be inspired work. But in that process of you just doing it just because you feel like you got to do it to make things happen, understand that there's also going to be a good amount of seeds that were seeds of desperation. There's going to be a lot of seeds that were seeds of lack, seeds of exhaustion, seeds of just a lot of vibrations that you wouldn't want to reap fruit from. You don't want desperation fruit to come back to you. You don't want tired fruit to come back to you. You don't want fruit to come back that has holes in it, that's all, that you can't even do anything with, especially because it's all born of your energy. It takes the same energy, whether they're good seeds or bad seeds, they take energy. So if you could hone in and get that balance going of like, boom, I'm sowing inspired seeds, I'm sowing inspired seeds, okay, boom, I'm resting. So then I come back and now I feel energized, and boom, now I'm sowing energized seeds, and then boom, okay, I got some more energy to put towards it. All right, I'm sowing thoughtful seeds, loving seeds, and then okay, like damn, all right, I feel good. I don't feel called to do anything else. Let me go, do something light. Go do something that just for enjoyment. Let me go listen to some music or go dance or play video games. And then boom, now you're feeling good, you're feeling fulfilled, you're feeling happy, you're feeling present and all that. And then that leaves room for the next inspiration to find you. Now you're like, dang, this feels good. And then you can go about and then you see something. It's just the gift that keeps on giving when you allow yourself to flow through the process of creating your life, flow through the process of creating anything, to follow those ebbs and flows, because it's not going to all be just straight action, straight energy the whole way through. There's going to be moments where it's like, I need a break, or I'm not really feeling this right now, or I don't feel, any pull to do anything. At this point, I would just be doing stuff just to be doing stuff, to step away in those moments. Because the inspiration always comes back, the motivation always comes back, that spark always comes back if you allow it to. It only doesn't come back, slow down. It only doesn't come back if you're burnt out. Like if it was already gone, you push beyond that point to keep forcing. Because then eventually you're gonna stop. You're not gonna keep going. It's not gonna work. So eventually you're gonna stop. But then you have to recover from that, because now there's drain involved when you're forcing things. And it's like if you would have just stopped when you weren't really feeling anything, that process is probably shorter. You probably go just do something else and then feel that spark again and go, because you love it. You truly love it and you enjoy doing it, and it makes you feel whole. It's just when it's in those moments when it's like not time to do that stuff and you still force it because you feel like you need to, because you love it so much or the future depends on it, that now it becomes this draining thing. And it's like, That's why it's like live by the sword, die by the sword. You have to understand when it's time to use it, when it's time to put it away. And that allows it to stay sharp. That allows it to continue to, not cut you, but to cut what you're trying to cut intentionally. So, yeah, understand that. Know when to have your hands on and when to take your hands off. And allow flow to introduce itself. And like I said, that's with anything. These things can be as micro or as macro as you want them to be. They can be as big as, life. It's just going with the flows and not force, because relationships, there's points where relationships are everything. They're so expansive and they have you like, you want to spend all your time with this person and you're like, oh my God. And then there's, times where it's like, I kind of don't want to talk on the phone right now, or I kind of don't want to go over there, or I kind of just want to be to myself. But it's like, but especially in like the current way relationships tend to operate, it's kind of like you have to spend time with this person. You have to do these things. So it's like you may not want to, but you're still doing it because this is your person and you feel like you have to out of obligation or loyalty or any of that stuff. And then now, now you're there. Now the time's not even the same because you really don't want to be there, but you're kind of there. And it's just, imagine if you just like, not today, and you didn't do it. Now you rest or whatever, you spend the time to yourself, and then boom, tomorrow you might feel charged and ready to, let's go do this. Like, I missed you, let's go, And if you would have allowed yourself, if you would have allowed yourself to show up authentically, which was not showing up at all in that moment, just to spend some time with yourself, then that would have pulled you backward like a slingshot, and then boom, shot you guys further into a deeper bond together. Because then you would have realized like, wow, there's space for me to give myself what I need, and it doesn't have to negatively impact us. It doesn't have to become this problem. It can make us closer in the end, because now I get to show up authentically. And when I do show up authentically, the energy's bigger. I got to miss you. I got to do all these things. And now you're like, wow, you get to feel that real love. It's like, dang, one day away made you feel like that. You really do love me, And those type of things that reveal themselves in showing up authentically, because other people get to show up authentically. And you get to see that, wow, like, I don't have to force anything here. And that's a beautiful thing. And like I said, that's relationships. You could apply that to anything, whether it be your biggest dreams, your hobbies, anything. And it's like, you have to trust those things. It's like, when it's not right now, you don't feel it right now, it's okay. Don't force it. Understand that it'll come back. It's just not right now. And you get to recharge. And when you honor that, your body gets to flow, your energy gets to flow, your spirit gets to flow as it wants to, as it needs to. And none of the stuff that you love becomes a prison that way. None of the stuff you love becomes this big obligation thing that now it's like, I kind of don't even want to face it, because historically it's this thing that I have to give energy to when I don't want to give it to it, that it becomes a jail, it becomes a prison, honestly. And it becomes this dark thing when it's like, it was so light, and it can still be so light if you honor yourself in it, instead of losing yourself to it. So yeah, trust the flows, and yeah, know when to take your hands off, and understand that taking your hands off doesn't mean you don't care about it. It doesn't mean you don't love it. It doesn't mean that you don't feel as strongly about it as you once did. It just means that, yeah, things have its times. And if you honor them all and you keep showing up authentically, understand that they will only get deeper. The love will only get deeper. The connection will only get deeper, because you understand that you can be yourself in these connections, that you can honor yourself in these connections, that you can expand and be as big as you are in these connections. And what realer love is there than that? I get to be me 100%. I don't have to show up as somebody else. I don't have to pretend to be anybody else. I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to do any of that stuff. And our connection gets stronger. The things I make get better. Oh my God. Like that sounds like a whole cheat code to life, because you look around and everybody's in this belief that life is supposed to be so self-sacrificial. You give yourself away to this, you give yourself away to that. You wear a mask for this, you change up and be this person for this. And it's like everybody's so fractured off and fragmented, and call that life. And that's what it's supposed to be. You give a piece of your soul to your job that you hate. You give a piece of your soul to, your spouse who doesn't understand you, but, they're your spouse, so you love them. and like all these things. And it's like, you can show up authentically and the sun will come back up tomorrow. You can say no to things that are a no, and everything will keep on going. Like, the world will not end. Nothing that's for you will leave your life from you doing that. Understand that if at the point you start showing up authentically, things start to fall away. Understand that, yeah, they were never you, and you sat here this whole time and were pretending to be somebody else in order to uphold these things. At the moment you really showed up as yourself, it crumbled or it fell away or they didn't like you anymore. That's a really big indicator right there, and that tells you everything you need to know. And that's something you don't have to worry about when you always show up authentically. Because like I said earlier, when we were talking about the leading with your heart, when you show up authentically, everybody shows you who they are. And yeah, you won't have to spend any time wasted in spaces that aren't for you, because you're always going to want to expand. You're always going to want to take up more room and be yourself. So understand that that's not going to change. So whether it be 10 years, 20 years before you decide, like, finally I'm going to show up authentically, understand that you will at some point, especially if you plan to live a life where you feel fulfilled. At some point you're going to have to take up space. At some point you're going to have to expand into everything you are, or else you will feel like you didn't do everything you came here to do. So as soon as you're feeling those type of ways, take up the space, expand right then and there. Do not stay small to be in spaces that you're too big for. So, yeah. Hell yeah. Knight of Swords on the bottom. Enjoy that process. This feels like flowing through authenticity right here. Like leading with the trueness of who you are, like at a mind level, at a soul level. Like moving with your thoughts and really honoring your thoughts and the way you see the world and what you know to be true, and allowing that to lead the way and having fun. And life can become play that way when you really just show up as you are. And that doesn't mean like, when you're mad, you don't have any self-control, you just take it out on everybody. Because I know that's one way that could become out negatively. It's like, no, it's more so like if you're angry, you don't have to pretend to not be angry. Like you can not go around people, you can keep that energy to yourself, or 47 as I say that. You can go put it into something else. You can go create with it. You can go make some mad art, whatever. But yeah, you don't have to go into spaces and try to pretend not to be mad, or go and try to save face, or like, just push it down and show up as something else. You don't have to do that. You can be mad and be like, yo, I'm mad. I'm gonna just spend some time to myself today. And understand that, the people who were expecting you to show up at this party or whatever, they'll be okay. Like, they're not gonna hold that against you. And if they're truly your people, that's what they would want you to do. Like, oh, no, bro, do what you need. Like, yeah, give yourself what you need. It's all right, girl. Like, hell yeah, we'll come over after, and we could do this, and that gives them the opportunity to meet you where you are and to show you how much you matter. But you making yourself matter always comes first. Because if you always show up and it's like you're mad or whatever, it doesn't matter, then they're gonna think it doesn't matter, and then you're gonna feel like, damn, like there's no room for me in this relationship and this friend group to show up authentically. And it's like, no, you just never showed up authentically. And yeah, maybe you will show up authentically and you will find out that there's no room for you to show up authentically. But you don't know that until you've done it. And then you can say, damn, like there's no room for me to show up authentically. But if you've never done it, then you can't truly say that there's no room for it. So yeah, freeing yourself to show up authentically allows you to see who everybody is around you, allows you to see what everything is around you, like your job and all that. Like if you never take any sick days, yeah, if you never take any sick days, you always show up, even no matter how you feel or whatever. You'll never know that, damn, maybe if you would have took them, they would have, worked with you or really showed how much they care, how much they value you, and how much you mean to them as an employee, how much you mean to the company, how much they care about you as a person beyond you as an employee too. And that opportunity alone would pour into you, because it would have you charged up. You'd be like, wow, they really care about me. And that would change how you show up to work every day. That would probably make you want to show up to work to work more than you actually do now, when you're sitting there not taking no days off and you feel like you always got to be there. You always got to give all of you no matter what. And like it's a prison. And it's like, yeah, if you showed up authentically, maybe it would surprise you, and you'd realize that, damn, that's all you ever had to do, and now you can fall in love with the job. Now you can show up differently and experience it differently. And it's like, yeah, showing up authentically is the gift that keeps on giving. Like, in every realm, there's not any realm where I could think of where it's like, nah, yeah, show up as somebody else, pretend, and just be that. Besides, like, maybe the worst things, but not what the average person is experiencing at all, for real. So yeah, just show up authentically, and that seems to be continue to be the call, and follow that, and 50-50 as I say that. Hey, half and half. Add up to 100, the whole thing. It's the balance, you know. Yeah, hands on, hands off, flow, and showing up authentically and following that to everywhere it leads to, because it leads everywhere. Everywhere you've been trying to go, everywhere you wanted to be, everywhere you wanted to experience. That's the key to freeing yourself, and freeing yourself from your reality and from a lot of the things that you aren't even bound to, the things that you aren't even imprisoned by. So, hell yeah, man. Be authentic, keep showing up, and be you 1,000%, and then some more. And as you keep growing into more of you, keep doing that, you know? You're not obligated to stay the same. You're not obligated to show up how you've always showed up. And if you're living the right way, you're gonna be changing all the time, you know? If you slow down. If you wake up tomorrow and you feel different, or you wake up as a whole new person, you don't owe anybody anything to show up as who you were yesterday. You're this new person. That's your truth. You can be that. You're free to do that. And it's in your best interest to do that. And the things that aren't in alignment to that, who can't exist in your authenticity, they will go and they will fall away. And it's your responsibility to let them, to not try to shrink to keep them, not try to negotiate or not try to compromise so they can stay. None of that. Because understand that you're here to be yourself. And the things that are for you are waiting on you, and they all exist, and you've seen them, you've experienced them all, energetically, spiritually, all that. So why would you waste time with the things that are not for you? Especially as you're trying to call in things that are for you. Understand that nothing happens in a vacuum. It's all together. So if you're sitting here entertaining things that aren't for you while trying to call in things that are for you, that's a block. That's a real clear block. So you have to send the message to the universe that you're only going to entertain the things that are for you and that are authentically you. And you're not going to settle for anything that's not that. And it will continue to send things, and it will be more clear, like an algorithm, you know? Like, as you only entertain the things that are for you, it becomes clear, like, okay, like, there's no point in even sending other things that don't match, because they're just going to ignore it, you know? You're just going to be like, not that. And it's just like, damn, all right, let's just send her what she wants. Forget it. Like, she's going to have all the things she wants because she's not going to play the game any other way. And it's like, that's the reality of it. And it sounds so simple, and it sounds like, you know, like make-believe for sure, but try it. Be really relentless in it this week. Hey, for the rest of Scorpio season, let's really live in the shadows. Let's live in the transformative energies. For the rest of Scorpio season, be relentless in only being authentic and only entertaining things that get that authentic yes out of you. If it's not an authentic yes, then it's a no. And it's a no to leave space, to stay in the darkness, to allow more light to be born that is in alignment to where you want to go. And then you can act on that stuff and inspire to action. So, hell yeah, that's definitely the call. I got 2 of Cups at the bottom. And yeah, this feels like a divine union between the light and dark aspects of ourselves. I know in these journeys we focus a lot on the light and the knowledge and learning the things and the perspectives and the way to view the world and the universal laws and all that. But a lot of these, most of it is all the darkness too. It's born in the darkness, the spaces in between, the silences between the learning, where you're actually integrating, where you're actually seeing things play out, where you're actually creating your reality, and you're able to, confirmation Bert, you're able to interact with the things born of your darkness, you know, the things that you attract in, you're able to interact with it and learn from it. And see what it has to mirror for you, because it also mirrors you in the fact of what brought this thing into you, what is it requesting from you, which tells you how they see you, what vibes you're setting out, how you're showing up in the world. It reveals all of that stuff if you're able to perceive the darkness correctly and perceive the things that show up correctly. So understand that it's the spaces in between the light and you learning and all that, in which it all gets grounded in, which you actually learn your reality, and you learn what applies to you, what doesn't apply to you, what shows up, what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and just all those things. So understand that it's very important to spend some time on that, and your own darkness, like your subconscious as well, and all that. And this is just that union of, okay, we've been working hella in the light, but the darkness is just as important too. And those things are coming into union, into balance, especially now as we're stepping into all these things that are here for us. It's time to work through those last shadows, those last deep corners that we haven't gotten all the way into yet. And not because you haven't, or you're not behind or anything. It's just time now. And the energies for sure lend itself to that. And yeah, transformation is imminent. So the best thing you can do, it's gonna happen regardless, but the best thing you can do is to go look into those corners, you know? You don't wait for them to creep into your reality, creep into your experience for you to face them. If you know they exist, if you know that they're there waiting on you, lean into them. And hey, go looking for them. Walk into the shadows and realize that you can see very well in the darkness. And that not only can you see very well in the darkness, it's your home. You were born from the darkness, you know? Like at every level you can look back, the darkness is where you come from. Even if you think about, and you're in the belly before you're born, you know, it's darkness for months. You're in there for damn near a year on earth, but not in the earth, you know, you're not experiencing any of it. You're in the darkness, but you're still here. And it's like, yeah, that's the first experience you have on earth is darkness. So understand that, yeah, find solace in darkness and understand that it's nothing to be afraid of. It's you. It's you, plain and simple. So yeah, that's the call right now. Meet your darkness halfway and allow space for it. And yeah, understand that it's just as beautiful as the light and that there is no separation. Oh yeah, no, tonight is dope. Tonight is super, super dope. Knight of Swords again. Hell yeah. Trust yourself and trust your connection to it all. Because you're so, so connected and so, so protected. And just the fact that you're here right now and that you're in resonance with me, I know you're so, so protected. And I know you're so connected because that's just me. And yeah, the people I attract in at this point and the people who just make it to this point of exchanging energy with me. And even though, you know, this is digital and virtual and all that, there's no difference, you know. This is, if you were nearby, you'd probably vibrate right into my life and we talk and have these conversations in person too. So I understand that, yeah, my energy doesn't, especially at this point, it doesn't just pull everybody in, not to these depths. So the fact that you're here, I know that you're special. I know that you're very, very divine. You're very, very magical, and that there's just so much here for you. And it's all yours. The world is yours, I promise you. And it's like, yeah, trust yourself. Have fun in that. Really enjoy that process. And yeah, and if you don't see it yet, enjoy that process too, the unfoldment of the truth of you, because yeah, you're very, very special. And it's an honor for me to even be able to sit here and have these conversations with y'all, to share energy with y'all, for y'all to, yeah, share energy with me and to do this dance that we continue to do. So I'm gonna keep telling you until you get it. And if you do get it, I'm glad, because yeah, you're everything. And you deserve to know that and you deserve to feel it. So trust yourself, please. Have fun. Ride off into the sunset, following nothing but your authenticity and your heart, and understand that that's all you ever needed. Like, it'll lead you everywhere, and you're so protected in all of that because you are divine, you are magical, and your heart is so open and so full of divine love and God that there's nothing to be afraid of, because a light that bright illuminates all darkness. Like, you'll see it a mile away before it ever actually does anything to hurt you. And you know, we've experienced heartbreak and things like that, and people becoming people we didn't never saw them becoming, and you know, that might feel like you got to be on guard and everything, but understand that, look, you survived it, and I can guarantee you that it led you to more of yourself, and that it led you to be able to show up even more authentically, because now you know what you don't like, you know what you do like, you know what certain things look like and all that. So it made you more experienced and allowed you to have more discernment and all beautiful things when you allowed them to 01:11 on the timer, when you allowed them to be that. So understand that you were not in any real danger. It may have hurt, but you're also here to experience things, the good and the bad. So the fact that you were able to feel anything is a blessing. You know, you should be grateful for that, because the worst thing ever, I feel like, really would be here and just be feeling bland all the time, not feeling no pain, not feeling no love, just here, that sounds way worse. Like, no type of experience, no type of, you know, but it's the lows and the highs that make each other, they're both important. The sadness you've experienced is what makes the happiness that you experience so great, because you understand that, wow, there was times where I didn't feel like this. There was times where good felt bad as hell, you know? And it's like, without those times, these blessings that are here for you, you wouldn't be able to truly cherish them, truly hold them and experience them to the depth in which they are to be experienced, you know? Because I can give you a house, a big mansion, right? And it'll be everything to you just because of everything you've been through, just the things you've seen, all that, you know, like, you'll really make it a home. You'll really cherish it. You'll probably sit there and find a way to make it something everybody can love, you know? Like, that's just the type of person you are. And it's like, wow, like, that's how you see a mansion, you know? You see it as like an opportunity to create experiences for everybody, and to really pour into cups, and to really host things, and just all those beautiful things. But I could give that same mansion to somebody else. And there's a lot of people, we know, for them, oh man, I'm put this room in, now it's just this big palace for them, and just, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like there's, you understand this whole thing to a depth in which, if you're not serving others, if other people are not feeling as grand as you are, that there's still work to do, you know? Like, if you're sitting there all happy and everybody's miserable, happiness is not gonna feel as happy to you. And it's like that's the difference. And that's what this world needs right now. More people in positions who understand that everybody's important, who understands that oneness is everything, that you can put however many people you want in mansions and give them riches, but if there's still people who sleep on the side of the road, who are still having to ask for change, that there's still work to do, and that your life is not done yet, and you didn't do what you came here to do yet. And that's the difference. And that's why all these experiences had to happen the way they had to happen, to build you into the person who had a container that was big enough to carry the energy, the weight, the shadows, the darkness, all that it takes to do everything that you see. So understand that it's always been for you. And as long as you continue to show up and continue to alchemize all these things, and continue to bring light to the darkness and darkness to the light, that you will be successful and everything will come. And at this point, you understand that you're not in a race against time. You know that you've experienced already. It's yours. You've been there. You've been to those places. You've closed your eyes. You've done the things. You've seen it. You've tasted it. You've smelled it. You know it's real. So as long as you continue to show up and trust and trust, and don't block yourself by doubting and falling into all those mental loops and the noise outside, that you will get there and that you are already there. And all you have to do is shed all these things that aren't you, kill the noise, and understand that it's a straight path to exactly where you're going. But you don't understand that you're already there because there's so much going on, that you're looking this way, you got this noise going on, you're like this half the time, you know? So it's like you can't even really take your bearings and look around and realize like, wow, I'm literally exactly where I asked to be, you know? Because you're so distracted and your energy's pulled in so many different ways and so much is going on that you don't even have time to hear yourself or see yourself clearly or any of that stuff. So, yeah. Oh, wow. Whoa. It's like a blade of grass or like a weed, and it was standing straight. It was laying down. It's like when I said that, it started to stand up, and now it's like fully standing up like this. Damn, I've never seen anything like that before. Damn, I lost my whole train of thought. But yeah, understand that light and dark. Oh my God, this is essentially it. Light and darkness, it all, the balance, it's really all, it all plays its part to get you to exactly where you're going. So embrace it all and understand that it's all you, and it all serves the same purpose. Damn, confirmation burp again. It all serves its same purpose and getting you to where you need to go. So value it all together. Don't only feel divinely protected when good things happen. Feel divinely protected when the worst things happen too. Feel connected to it all when the worst things happen too. And embrace it all as challenges to see what type of alchemist you are and how good at alchemy you are and how much of a magician you really are. And yeah, I take it that I'm talking to other people who value this life thing as an experience, as a school, as a journey, you know? And it's like, all this stuff is your magic, and the things that present itself to you is your magic as well, you know? It's like, well, okay, how can I turn this into something that works for me? How can I, okay, this is pretty bad. How can I, boom, work with this energy to, okay, wow. Because the things that are bad, you can alchemize them into just as much good as it was bad. So like, just like your container, the lowest lows you've experienced on the other end are the highest highs. So it's like, to the depth in which you've experienced the good, you can experience the bad, and the bad, the good. But understand also in that journey, in that process, you have the ability to navigate it all. So yes, things may show up, but you have more of a capacity to deal with them and to alchemize them and to make the most of it, especially once you understand that it's all for you. And it's like, wow, okay, this is a pretty big dose of, you know, negative magic. Like, how can I alchemize this and make it into some really big, do some real positive things with it? And understand that you can continue to do that, and you will continue to do that. And as you get the hang of that, everything comes right behind that. And yeah, it's just such a beautiful way of existing, and such a beautiful dance to play with the world you live in and with life itself. So, hell yeah. Oh my God. Damn, it's like I don't even remember shuffling, but I keep looking down and there's a card at the bottom. The sun. I'm telling you. The sun is right on the other side of all that darkness you've been avoiding. All that darkness and stuff that you try not to look at, so to keep you in the light. That's a lot of your magic right there. And then you're calling in for more magic, and it's like you haven't used that heavy, potent magic that you've been hiding from. Those things that keep you up at night, those things that you don't want to think about. You know, trigger warning, but the trauma stored in your body, you know, that comes out as like PTSD or like triggers and things like that. That's your magic. It's all just energy. And it's like, it's in your field. And the only way to not have it be sitting there holding you back or keeping you dense is to transmute it, is to alchemize it, to work with it, to integrate it. So understand that, hey, especially if you're a creative person and you found like creative outlets and you found creative forms of, my foot's starting to fall asleep again, and you found creative forms of expression that feel like you and that work for you, hell yeah, you're ahead of the game. That's half the battle. So now it's like, all right, go into these shadows, go into some of this darkness and work with it, you know? If you make music, go make a song about with that feeling that you've been avoiding, that little trigger that keeps getting you every time you think about this thing. Go write a song about that, go express it, and understand that you're healing yourself in that process. You're integrating that darkness back into yourself, because your darkness is how you create. So if your darkness is all tied up on bad experiences or sad experiences or things you don't even want to look at, you're not going to be able to use it for beautiful things and things you do want to look at. And understand that, yeah, your darkness is just as useful. It's just as useful. The worst experience you've ever had, don't feel like it's negativity or you're like putting negativity out into the world, because understand that you're showing up authentically, and there's people who authentically can relate to those things and who feel those things at a very deep level. And then freeing yourself to express those things, it frees them to express those things too. It frees them to look at their own darkness, to incorporate their own darkness, to become one with their darkness. 01-11-11, as I say that. So, yeah, please work with it. And understand that that's the way forward. Your darkness is you, and it deserves just as much love, if not more. And then Ace of Wands right under that. And this just feels like an opportunity here. We were just talking about it. Take your wand. It's time to see what type of alchemist you are. See how good you actually are. How much you've actually learned. How much you've actually paid attention to all these things you've been paying attention to. Because the light is cool, you know, building, containing more and more light, more and more light, more and more light. But it's in the darkness in which you get to use that light and to create. And there's no creating without going into the darkness. Because look, there's too much going on out here. But in the darkness, there's nothing. And now you can see unlimited possibilities. In the darkness, you feel all the possibilities, and you realize anything can exist. And there's no limitations. Like, you look around, you can't even see yourself. You look down, you can't see your hands. Like, in those moments in the darkness, when you're just in complete darkness, you know, that's the truest you there is. Like, you can't see anything. You don't know what skin color you are. You can't even check if you're a boy or a girl, you know, without your hands, of course. But yeah, it's like, that's where the true unlimited possibilities lie. But if your darkness is a scary place, then you're not going to be able to create your life the way you want to. You're not going to be able to create anything the way you want to, because you have to go there. Like, you have to go there. That's the start. That's the root. You know, in the beginning, if you're religious, if you identify as Christian or you study Christianity, you know, let there be light was like the first thing. So, born in darkness. Darkness was there. Let there be light. Now it's illuminated, but you have to go into that darkness to turn the lights on. You know, there's no, you know, now we live in a digital age where you can turn lights on from your phone, but I remember being a kid and it's like, damn, in order to turn that light on, you got to go into the darkness, you know? Like, oh, wow. I really appreciate that memory, because I really felt it for a second. Because I used to be afraid of the dark as a kid. I really was. And yeah, it's funny because I was afraid for the dark for a while, and there was just a day where I just decided I wouldn't be afraid of it anymore. I was like, I've been very conscious for as long as I can remember, but not to make this about me, but yeah, I definitely just decided, yeah, I'm not afraid of the dark anymore. And at first, you know, it's still, but after a while of just, you know, now I'm not afraid of the dark. Now it's whatever. I love the darkness. I feel more myself in the dark. Like, the dark is everything. I really, really appreciate it. So yeah, life is funny. But yeah, that visual of being a kid, it's like, to turn the light on, you got to go out into the darkness, because the switch is out there where you can't see it. All you have is that memory of where the switch is, where it typically is. And yeah, sometimes you miss the switch and you're still in the darkness for longer, but nothing ever happens because you're safe, you're fine. And yeah, so don't be afraid of your darkness. And the only way to turn that light on and to really utilize and create with that light that you've been building up on and learning and growing and growing and growing is to go into the darkness. That's the last step and the first step. So enjoy that process. Here's your wand dog. And hey, definitely let me know how that goes. This is, oh man. All right, after this one, I'm gonna pull some oracle, but the star at the bottom. Yeah. This is it, I'm telling you. Exactly what we're talking about. Pouring, that's her inner world, that's the outer world. It's like that balance of both, and understanding nurturing both is important. It's very important. And it leads to wish fulfillment. But getting that balance of your darkness and your light and getting those into accordance with each other, it leads to everything you want. And you're protected in that process every single time. Understand that that work is of a very, very divine nature. And it's in the world's best interest. It's in Gaia's best interest, the planet, which is conscious. Everybody's best interest. So they're going to defend you in that, and they're going to protect you as you do that, because that bleeds out into the world becoming a better place. Even if you don't go out and, make the world a better place, it's like you're one more person who's operating like that. And that sends out ripples through the quantum, through the collective, everything. Everybody feels that and sees that. And anybody you come into contact with will feel it and see it as well too. And even if they're not at a conscious level, they'll get pinged and they'll be like, they'll feel those little calls and triggers and things to lean into their own darkness and to become more authentic and do all those things that you do and that you've been doing, because they can feel it on you. And at a level, they understand exactly what's going on with you and how you're vibrating like that, why your frequency's like that, why your light is so bright, all of that. So, yeah, understand you're going to be protected in the process of this, of getting that together, of raising, of nurturing yourself and becoming more of yourself and the truest you are. Understand that that's a divine job, and that's taking on a very divine position in the grand order of things. So, hell yeah, understand that you're a big deal, especially if you're doing that at a conscious level and you're always doing that, and you've given your life to actualizing the highest version of yourself and to embodying that and getting everything life has to offer. Yeah, understand that you're supported in that by the very things that run all of this, and that they're rooting for you. God's rooting for you, the universe, spirit team, anything and everything you believe in is rooting for you. Things you probably don't even believe in are rooting for you too, because it's like, it leads to such a beautiful place for everybody and everything. So it's like, even if they're not at a conscious level, everything is rooting for you. Energetically, deep down in the quantum, if you could zoom out and see and look at it, you just see that, wow, the whole world is looking at you like, and you're standing in the arena looking around like, and they're just like, and you see Jesus and God and Gandhi over there, and everybody's like, because that's the truth of what you're doing here. And I hope y'all don't ever think I'm just here tooting y'all horn, because I'm not. This is really the truth, and I feel it, and it's just beautiful. And the words can never do it justice. That's why I try to paint pictures. I do my best to give, scenarios and all that to really, really, really get it to hit. But I know it does, because you already know all this stuff. You've already felt it. So it's like, I could say the littlest thing and you'd understand what it means. So, hell yeah. This is awesome, man. Monday Night Magic, ? This is fire. Super fire. I'm gonna keep trying to slow down, but this energy is potent, man. I'm telling you, I be getting charged, and it's like, But this is Scorpio mark. This is chill mark. Can't get too excited for y'all, It's dark outside. It's supposed to be mysterious. So I guess they didn't tell the Libra that it's Scorpio season now. Yeah. What would Kidju say? And I feel my inner child very much present, especially after that light reference. But what would Kidju say? Check in with them. Allow them to be a part of your experiences, because understand that they weren't, I don't know what that was, but understand that they were very much connected, and that they were experiencing this world with a little bit more of a clear, I don't want to say vision, because as a kid you don't really see like all of it, but you feel it, and the way you operate is just naturally the more natural way of operating, as far as just being present, as far as following your heart, as far as doing what lights you up, and asking questions, and yeah, just all that. The beautiful ways that a kid navigates the world that's really, really innocent, but also really, really free and explorative. What would they say about the things you're doing? What would that version of you say about the things you're not doing? Hey, that's my boy Daniel. What would they say about the things you're not doing, about the things you left behind, about, yeah, the people that you're now friends with versus who you were friends with then, your relationship with your parents versus your relationship then, just all those things that, yeah, that they would definitely have an opinion on, that they would definitely feel a way about. Go ask them, sit with yourself. Be like, damn, what would that 8-year-old version say about what we're doing right now? And take it a step further, write to them, let them know what you're doing. And shit, right back to yourself, take it as deep as you want to go, because time doesn't exist. It's all right here, right now. And I know you feel those things. They all feel like they just happened just the other day. And it's like, yeah, you can convene with those versions of you, and all that will help integrate them all. And especially if you're someone who feels like, you're fragmented, or like you've left parts of yourself in different eras and stuff like that, write to all those versions of you. Let them know that you're ready for them to come home, Let them know that you're ready for them to be a part of this alchemy and this magic that you're really doing out here right now. Let them know that you're doing the magic. Hit them up, be like, yo, I know you won't believe this, but we're out here going crazy right now. We're out here manifesting. We're listening to crazy dudes sitting in the dark telling us that we're destined for greatness. We over here creating things, and yeah, sometimes we still feel, misunderstood, but we're getting it together now. I learned this thing today, and I'm trying to incorporate my darkness more. Just really go have those conversations with your past selves and understand that you're not crazy. It's not crazy at all, and that all that is what allows you to be whole, and it allows you to bring in all your magic, because all your magic is here and it's been here. And a lot of times it's just scattered and left behind in places, and versions of you who had different keys and parts of the recipe are left behind. And it's like, go get them and incorporate them into what you're doing now. Invite them into the present, and understand that they're all you and that they all led you here. So it's in your best interest to keep them all here, because they all have different perspectives. It was that thing, you sitting in the front of the class versus the back of the class in 3rd grade, or like in 6th grade when you got to pick your classes, it's the one that picked this class instead of that class that led you to this love that you're doing now. And it's like, yeah, everybody played their part, so nobody should get left behind. 1, 2, 3 on the timer, as I said that. And it's a beautiful thing, because yeah, who you are is so amazing, but you got to understand that who you are is a result of so many different versions of you, so many different everything. So, hell yeah, what would kid you say? Talk to them, go incorporate them, and reclaim yourself, and reclaim your soul, and the magic that you are, and in that process, you heal the past. And through healing the past, you guarantee a better present moment and future present moments for sure, because you don't have to replay the past. You don't have to re-project it out again to get yourself to face the darkness that you've been running from, or that you don't really like to spend time in. So, hell yeah, just take your power back from all that stuff and realize you can alchemize it all. You can change the perspective now. You can change the role they play in your life now. I don't care if it was something from when you were 5 years old. You can go back, look at it, find the perspective that would have made that better, that would have made you more whole and more empowered to be yourself, and apply it now. You can be like, oh, wow, that's what I was supposed to learn from that, or that's what I was supposed to take away from that, and apply it now, and follow it back. Be like, wow, okay, that's what I'm supposed to take from that, and okay, that led, and you can work through that stuff. And that's shadow work, and yeah, there's so much waiting for you, and you can really alchemize it all, and through that you'll come back and be like, wow, like I feel so powerful, I feel so much light, and I feel so whole. And it's like, yeah, because you freed up a lot of energy that was still trapped in places that it didn't need to be trapped in. So hell yeah, enjoy that process, please, and let me know about it. Hey, what would kid you say, man? Hella gems back there. What would kid you say again? This one feels like a practical joke though. Like it feels like, like them playing games, like in a very kid way. Oh wow. And in jail. This was on the bottom when I pulled what would kid you say. So. Yeah, I'm just hearing free yourself. That was the first thing I heard, but I said we were gonna go slower and spend a little more time in the darkness. So I was trying to give it more space to see, but yeah, I just kept hearing free yourself. And yeah, serve at the bottom. I think, yeah, basketball. Yeah, free. The call for me just between jail, serve, and basketball feels like just free yourself through doing things that you love. And what kid you say came back out, because like, wait, nah, I get a more complete picture now. What kid you say was like, wait, hold on. they weren't done sharing the message. They want you to get back to things that you used to love to do. And that's really key in freeing them and freeing yourself too. Like things that you may have left behind because, maybe life got serious, so you're like, oh, I gotta cut these things out, or things you thought were childish, or maybe you like this really specific thing, but your parents were like, no, you have to do this thing, so you left that behind. But that day you left that behind, part of your heart stayed behind too, because you actually really, really loved it. Get back to those things. And yeah, you served your time, like you've been in that jail long enough and you've seen what that looks like, you've seen where that leads. But now you're at a place where you understand that, yeah, that the love you felt for that was real. It wasn't misguided. You weren't just a kid, like nothing, because that call is still in your heart. You still love that thing, like you still have space for it. You just, maybe it's been a really long time, or you feel like, like I left that behind. Like why would I go pick it up now? Or it's gonna take too long to whatever. Like whatever, any million reasons you could come up with to leave it in the past, go get it. It's yours. You served your time. You did enough time. Like now you're in a position where you can free yourself. There's no one who can tell you not to go do these things. There's no one who can tell you that you're too old for it, or that you gotta grow up, or none of that stuff. Whatever the reason is, like you have the final say, and you can exercise your free will. So go get those things and go play, man. Go let yourself play. Don't even be too strict about it, or too strict with it, or trying to be perfect at it, or as good as you used to be, or whatever this is. Just really play. Allow it to be new. And for you, in order for it to not be this thing where you're trying to get back to where you were, allow yourself to play with the former version of you that used to play. Like there's space for both of you in here, and maybe they're showing you what to do, and then you're like, all right, let me, you're learning from them because they knew all these things already. And hell yeah, that's dope. That's super dope. Whew. Yeah, I'm starting to feel the energy wind down. So pull a couple more of these and then call it a night. Hello. I swear, everybody who's looked at me as they walk by looks like they've seen a ghost. Like, I feel like I typically get looks like, but it's never like shock or awe or nothing. It's like usually very kind, like, oh my God, like, hey, or like, hey, or like people looking at me like, I don't know, like light, like a very bright light. But tonight, I don't know. They've been looking at me like, I guess because it's nighttime and I'm just sitting out here, but I don't know. They've definitely been like doing the absolute most. Someone's lying? That's crazy. You gotta sit with this one. Oh, okay. Aries at the bottom. Yeah, someone's lying. And it doesn't feel like you. Yeah, it feels like being lied to. Like if you're watching this, like someone's lying to you. Um, Damn, man, I just saw lightning over there. Yeah, that made me feel like you don't even have to go hunting for it. Like don't go and don't start like looking around like who's lying, who's lying, who's lying. Like continue as you were and understand that, yeah, the light will illuminate it itself. Like you trying to go find it will only get you all confused and twisted and turned and like, yeah, and create problems where there doesn't need to be any and like a whole bunch of stuff that won't even reveal it. And then now you have all these other things to clean up. So yeah, nothing changed. Don't force that at all. Like shit, at this point you could even, it's not even for you, it's whatever. Just continue to operate. And if it is for you, it will reveal itself. But yeah, as you were, don't change anything or don't go looking for it. Damn, more lightning. Yeah, it's gonna come out. If it's for you, it's gonna come out. You don't gotta do no work about it, nothing. Hell yeah. And I don't know, everything got kind of busy out here. Like cars keep coming by, people keep looking at me. Yeah, so it feels like there's an attempted like distraction type energy. Make you look left while something's going on the right. Ooh, spot on. And it's funny because when I saw Aries at the bottom, I definitely thought of you. I definitely saw you, like, I definitely saw you. So it's funny that you say spot on, because now I'm like, oh, okay. Next time I'll lean into that. And then see you later and cat at the bottom. Yeah, this feels like a goodbye, like just back to me saying we're gonna wrap it up. But the cat part, yeah, the cat part feels like pay attention to your surroundings. Like you don't have to say much, you don't even have to do much, but just exist, you know, as you feel called to in the spaces, and observe as well, you know, take scope of the area, go where the energy feels right. Don't force anything, don't allow anybody to force themselves on you to make you go left or right, but just really operating as yourself and as you feel you need to operate while observing other people and how they move while you do that. Because that'll reveal a lot about other people as well, for real. Because 013333, as I say that, because as you operate doing what you want to do and like in your own sovereignty and in your own space, you get to see, because people and like that, people will react to that type of thing in one of two ways. They'll embrace that, or they'll try to control it. You know, that really triggers people, and it's like, you know, you shouldn't do that, or oh, you know, you should do this, or oh, why don't you do this, or why are you doing that? You know, wouldn't you rather do this? You know, those type of things. And it's like, yeah, it's almost as if like people like that tend to not feel like you know what you're doing for yourself if it doesn't look like what they feel like it should be looking like. And yeah, that's very important information to know, because especially if this is somebody who's close to or somebody who you rely on for guidance and things like that, understand that they could have you going in the wrong directions, because yeah, where you're supposed to go is never going to be in a direction that's not where you feel called to go, not where your heart is saying to go, you know? Like someone who's really for you should not be trying to talk you out of going in the direction your heart is saying to go. If you feeling a call to go do this thing, to go show up this way at this place, someone who's truly for you and who truly loves you and in a way that's truly divine and truly in alignment, they're going to encourage you to go do that simply because you feel the call. Even if they don't understand it, even if they don't agree with it, they're going to say, yeah, I don't know, but do it. Do your thing, because they understand that your journey is your own, just like their journey is their own. And If someone who truly loves you will have that grace for you and will allow you to show up how you feel you need to show up. And whatever fallback comes from that or whatever happens from that, they'll be there to hold you up. They'll be there to support you. They'll be there to, to be there. Just be there for you. And if it works out great, they'll tell you good job. If it works out terrible, they'll tell you, hey, next time, we got it. And that's all it is. But someone who's spending time trying to talk you out of your heart pretty frequently or often, yeah, that's a good old see you later. It has to be, because that doubt and that all that will leak in, and you will start to do that to yourself. Like, you will start to yo, what's up, boy? You will start to question yourself, and you will start to be like, damn, maybe they were right. Maybe I shouldn't have did this thing, or maybe I should have just, accepted less. I should have just settled, or I should have just been doing this instead of that. And it's like, once you start to let those creep in, it's over. Like, you're gonna start. That's like a hole in the ship. You're gonna start sinking fast. And it's like, imagine if you had someone who was doing the opposite, who was like, oh, okay, yeah, do that, hell yeah. Like, follow your heart, answer the call, go ahead. Like, now, that's gonna have the opposite effect. Now you're gonna sit there and not second guess yourself. You're gonna be like, why would I say, oh no, let me do it, And that's gonna become your thing. And now your ship is becoming even stronger. And even on days when you're like, I'm not sure, like, should I follow my heart? Should I do this thing? They're gonna be like, what? Hell yeah, you should do it. And they're gonna tell you that, and they're gonna remind you of what you're here to do. And that's very, very important. So, and the way to reveal who those people are in your life is back to that authenticity, showing up authentically in every situation, showing up authentically and doing what you feel called to do, and not just succumbing to pressures and to other people, because in those moments you don't get to see who's truly for you and who's not, because a lot of them are able to exist around you through the illusion in which you're helping cast, like, you're allowing yourself to be less than, you're allowing yourself to be molded by them. So now it works for both of y'all, because you just do what they say, and then yeah, there's peace. And it's not even true peace, but you guys can coexist. But when you start to, okay, I'm gonna go this way, I'm gonna go that way, I'm gonna honor these things, they're gonna respond. They're gonna be like, either they're gonna encourage you, or they're gonna ask why. They're gonna try to control, And I feel like that tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. And at most, hey, there's a third where they just stay out of the way. They don't encourage, they don't do anything, they just stay out of the way. But that's helpful too, to know that, like, because for me, I'm that type of person. It's like, you don't have to support, you don't have to help, but definitely stay out of my way. Like, don't try to put fear into it. Don't try to sit here and question me hella till now I'm questioning myself. None of that. Like, because I'm gonna go that way, and you can come with me, or you can just stay out of the way. Like, and that's fine too. Like, I don't expect anything, but yeah, definitely don't sit here and try to talk me out of it or try to control what's going on. So, and that's what that feels like with the cat and the see you later thing. It's just because cats, you're not going to force cats to do anything, Like, if they want love and attention, yeah, come on. If they don't and you go to, they're going to move. They're going to, nah, I'm over here. Nah, I'm over there. And you're going to follow. You can be as persistent as you want, but it's never going to happen until they want it to happen, until they're ready, until they show up authentically wanting that love and prepared for that type of connection. So, yeah, that's the call right now, to be more cat-like, to really, to be that sovereign and to be that authentic in how you show up in the grand scheme of things and just in your everyday life and to the people around you. And understand that I feel like every message is continue to come back to that point of if you showing up authentically pushes them away, or they can't exist in harmony with your authenticity, they gotta go. And the quickest way for that process to go is for you to always show up authentically and to not spend any time showing up as a lesser authentic version of yourself, but as your true self always. So, hell yeah. That's definitely been a theme tonight. The darkness and authenticity. Listen to some music and light work. Hell yeah. Dream it possible. I love that name, by the way. Every time I see it, it's like, ooh. listen to some music. Keep things light right now. Light work, nothing heavy. Yeah, especially for the rest of tonight. And yeah, spend some time in the darkness too. Listening to some music in the dark would be dope. Some more lightning just went off over there. And yeah, just lose yourself as much as you can. Like, lean into that shadow, lean into that nothingness. Like I said, when you go into that really, really dark room and you can't see anything, you become like nothing. You're just the darkness. As you look around, you're the darkness. You can't see your skin. You can't see your arms. You can't see any tattoos, anything that makes you any different from the next person. And that's the truthness of who you actually are. That's the reality of it. It's like we're all the same. And when you get it boiled down to the same thing, it's like we're all nothing at the end of the day, just like we're everything all at the same time. So yeah, listen to some music, get into the dark, hey, do those things and lose as much as yourself as you can for a little bit. And in that process, you'll see exactly who you are. You will. And you'll recognize yourself much more than the way you do when you just look into a mirror, you know? So, hell yeah. That feels like a beautiful ass closing message. I wasn't expecting that. Should we pull one more tarot to close in? Oh, wow. I pulled these cards. I didn't even consciously like do it. Like, it was just kind of like it happened. Like my hand was just like, and I looked, cut it. Yeah, these cards always have a way to tell me to shut up. I think they know that I'll just keep going. Like, I love this shit so much. And I love these exchanges so much that I'll really sit here and just keep going until I don't got nothing left to give, you know? So I really appreciate them for that, because they always do. They always tell me, cut it, overstayed welcome. And it's funny because when I wrote the Oracle cards, yeah, I didn't spend too much time like, okay, what am I writing on these? Like, it was just next card. That's why some of them, like the spacing and all that's off and all that, because I was just writing. So it's just funny to see them all come out and come to play. And energy is dope, because they're sure to tell me to shut up. And I didn't realize I had that many ways in there to tell me to shut up. But hell yeah. Oh, I'm being too, this is Monday Night Magic. We don't laugh over here. We look mysterious and talk about things in the darkness. But no. Hey, this has been Monday Night Magic. How we feeling? This has been dope. I really, really like this. I'm still in the middle of this and I'm already looking forward to next Monday. But yeah, more lightning. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but well, it's Scorpio season. We know what's going on. Transformation is on the surface. I'm seeing like the Tower card in my mind's eye. And it's like, this is it. This is the final experience. I don't know, but that's what it feels like. Like, just we going into the darkness just to get those last little things and then turn the light on. That kid in the room, you know, you got to go into the darkness to turn the light on. Like, we got all the light, we paid the bill, we got light all up and through the house, but you got to turn the light on. You got to go through that darkness. That's the only way to get to the switch. So, and that's definitely the vibes. That's definitely what this Scorpio season is giving right now, especially in the 9 years. So it makes sense, because the year itself is already about endings and culminations and all that. So of course Scorpio season in the 9 year would be like that. So hell yeah. Yeah, if you're not into astrology, I would say look into it. And there's all type of astrologies. I know everything doesn't resonate with everybody, but just look into it. Get your birth chart, especially if you're someone who's blessed enough to know your birth time. Yeah, there's a lot of information in there. And that was the first step in all of this for me, was getting my birth chart. Hell yeah. And thank you for always giving me my flowers. I really appreciate you. And just for always being here. You're a truly special person to be able to sit here in this container in full force and week after week and all that, because I know it's a lot. It's a lot of energy. And it's a lot of concepts, a lot of talking. It's a lot of everything. So yeah, I know you're special, and all of you are special. We're all special as fuck. And yeah, I love y'all. But make sure y'all do all the things. Follow, like, subscribe, share, depending on where you found me. Just everything. Stay connected because we're doing big things here and we're growing and growing. And hey, I'm committed to continue transforming, to continue to keep doing this. You know, I haven't missed a Monday yet. I don't plan on it. No matter how much things change, as of right now, I plan to always have space for Monday Magic until I can't talk to y'all no more. And even then, I'm sure I'll find a way to communicate. But yeah, I look forward to seeing how we all change in this journey and seeing how you all change and how we all grow together. And yeah, we're in the middle of the greatest story ever told. And I can never stress that enough. And I promise you, we are. So the quicker you can see it and jump in and start working with that energy, the better, because it's waiting for you and it's been here. So, hell yeah, I love y'all. And yeah, I'll see y'all around. Check out those links in my bio, man. There's all type of stuff in there. There's music, there's links to a year worth of meditation, like through the Balance app. There's all the worlds of me in there, and just explore it a little bit. See who you're talking to, you know. Yeah, because I promise you, it doesn't stop when this camera turns off. It's just a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I love y'all, and be safe, and have a good rest of y'all night, and kick ass this week. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing y'all again soon. So hell yeah.